Welcome to Fade in the Books. Uh Here with my nephew, and we're here to give you our six six best picks for Sunday's Week 5 games. Of course, any graphics that you see is by Outlier, the best sports betting research tool in the country. You can scan the QR code. Also, there will be a link in the description when the video is posted. Again, that's Outlier, the best sports betting research tool in the country. Um, with that out the way, we're gonna jump into one of our picks. The first pick being Kushan Junkins. We're going with him, and we're taking his rushing yards over 75 and a half. Here with the screenshot from Outlier. As you can see, he's only played 3 games this season. He's over 2 of the 3. Um, Going up against the Minnesota Vikings team, who ranks 24th in rushing yards, giving up to the running back. Um, of course, the first two, Brandon, that you see, he covered it against the Lions and the Packers, who I believe are top 10 in rush defense.
Hmm.
So, and him playing behind the Browns offensive line that really isn't that good. Um, but I think one thing's for certain with the Browns is like they're sure of their running back. Might not be sure of the quarterback position, but the running back position, I think they're sure of. What you think about that pick there?
I actually love that pick. The first one that he didn't hit was his first game actually back, coming from that suspension or that failure to sign a contract, whatever it was, legal mess that
Mm-hmm.
he got going in. So they drafted him to be the lead back, and his carries are actually showing that to get more and more carries. With Minnesota being so banged up, Cleveland, no matter the quarterback, they will have opportunities. Dylan Gabriel is going to be the quarterback starting out that they said. The opportunities to run the ball is going to be there. With the defense that Brian Flores do, he does that confusing defense to where he might walk 5, 6 up at the line and try to figure it out. I don't think they're going to try to lean on Dylan Gabriel too much in that passing game, and Quinshon Junction may be the lead back and with a lot of carries on Sunday morning for our early morning game.
Yep,
I like that.
out there in London. You know, I wanted Junkins to be in that Bears uniform so bad. I wanted him to be in there so bad, but Cleveland was able to get him in the early, that second round. It made my
I'm
heart just drop.
I'm a huge fan of Junkins. When he
Yeah.
catches his stride, he will catch the league by storm because I'm a huge fan of his. He has that breakaway speed. He has great vision as well. The offensive line for the Browns, they're actually not too bad in the run game. They are built to run for sure, for sure. Now passing game it may be a little trouble, but the run game they're definitely built to run. Absolutely. And then
All
for the
right.
next pick, I would definitely stay with the Vikings and the Browns. Actually, we're gonna stick with the Brown side of the things. Honestly, I don't trust Carson Wentz too much over there because he's still filling in for JJ McCarthy. So I'm gonna go with Dylan Gabriel, and I know we don't have a lot of statistics on Dylan Gabriel right now, because he is his first time starting. He is a smaller quarterback, so I think they're going to try to move the pocket a lot for him. So I really like his rushing yards at 14 and a half. His rushing yards are 14 and a half. This is going to be his first game actually playing this week in week 5. But going against that Brian Flores defense, he tries to bring up that confusing, multifaceted approach on his defense where he walk people up, drop people back in coverage, and things like that. They're not about to have Dylan Gabriel try to dissect all of that out on his first game. So I think they're going to utilize the
Mhm.
run a lot with Dylan Gabriel, with Quinshon Junkins, um, and I think that they're going to try to move the pocket, do quick passes, and if it's not there, just take off with it. I looked at his statistics over in college from Oregon, and anytime he
Mhm.
played like a nice top tier defense, he got loose with it. He don't have the biggest arm because he's a smaller guy, but he can move the pocket a lot. And honestly, the game plan for me with Dylan Gabriel will be just take what the defense give you. Honestly, just take what the defense give you.
Mhm.
Don't do too much. Just take what defense give you.
Yeah.
What you think on that one?
I mean, I love that pick. I didn't go back and look at the stats, like you did. But I trust your judgment on that. You know what I'm saying? You pretty football knowledgeable out there. So I'm riding with it. I know that Minnesota's gonna try and pressure the young buck, and he's gonna have to move the ball. If he can't move it through the air, the runs not there, he's gonna have to take off and, you know, get some yards to keep the chains moving. So I mean, I love that pick.
And honestly, I think that's one of the main reasons why they benched Joe Flacco because he is a statue back there. They need somebody that can move around. That offensive line cannot hold up too well in that passing lane. They need
Yeah.
somebody to get out there. I think Joe Flacco was second leading behind Geno Smith in interceptions. They said,
Mm-hmm.
take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Take what defense give you and move. It's going to be probably one of the hardest defense he has to face all year. But in practice, he goes against the Browns defense. Browns defense
Yeah.
ain't no chump. So it's a
Yeah.
reason he's out there.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, we're gonna move to our next game. Which I do believe the next game that we have,
one
we're gonna
o'clock
go
at
right here. The Broncos versus the Eagles.
Broncos
We're gonna
Eagles.
go. Yeah, we're gonna go right down the list here. I took Eagles money line on that game. They're playing at home. Um, I don't see them losing to the Broncos. Broncos is still a bunch of how should I say this? Misfits, I would say. You know what I'm saying? That sophomore jinx, the defense isn't what it was last year. Even
Mm.
the Eagles, they've been struggling running the ball here lately. Um, but they still been finding ways to win, you know. So even if they're struggling running the ball, again, their defense make plays. I actually think they may get AJ Brown going this game against the
Yeah,
Broncos. The Colts, they lit them up, passing. I think this might be an opportunity for, AJ Brown to get, be a part of this offense.
yeah. Let's hope it's his opportunity for AJ Brown for his sake, for the sake of the fans in Philly, because
Yeah,
saying nothing is saying a lot. Let's just put it like that.
right.
I really like the Broncos defense on this as well. They play a lot of man coverage. You're right about the offense. For some reason, like they disappointed me big time last week against the Bengals. They should have been a blowout from the beginning. They were struggling for a little while, then they finally got it together. This
Hmm.
don't think that this is going to be just a straight floodgates. I think it will be a competitive game, but I think the more experienced team will win this on this one. So money line for the Eagles. I really like that one as well. But
Hmm.
don't be surprised if this one do go down to fourth quarter on this one because they do have the manpower on defense to get after Jalen Hurts and to stick with those receivers because they have one of the best corners in the game as we
But
know.
that's yeah, but hey, that's why I went with this money line because the Colts, they ate up that best corner. They attacked him.
Yeah,
And
the Colts are crossing defense. You know
you
what?
know,
It's actually the same tree, same stacking trees, the same one.
yeah.
Um,
So
Play calling. So yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if Daniel Jones can eat them up, come on, Jalen. Come on.
Hurt should be able to do
Hurt.
it.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
brings us to our next line. Actually, while we here is Jalen Hurts. I don't think that it's still
Oops.
question marks about him as a quarterback. There as far as him fitting the ball in the tight windows and things like that. But I'll tell you this about Jalen Hurts: he knows how to win, and I really like him. His rushing yards on this one at 30 yards. Um, because he is one of those quarterbacks. By all means, he's going to get about 6 or 7 attempts a game, and he will know how to move that ball, especially against a man coverage defense that the Broncos are in. They in man about I think 80% of the time. If that back is turned, Jalen Hurts can get out there and get going on that one. The only time he didn't hit this line was against Kansas City. Kansas City is a very heavy zone defense there, where they got their eyes on Jalen Hurts the whole time, and their pass rush isn't like that for
Yeah.
Kansas City. With the pass rush of Denver Broncos, he's going to force him out of that pocket. He's going to force him to move a little bit, and no matter if he wants to run or not, they're going to force him out of that pocket. So 30 yards, he should be able to hit this fairly, fairly easy. on that on that
Ooh.
aspect of it.
Yeah, just
Which is
looking there, they're number one in rushing yards allowed to the quarterback. Denver is. No, what I'm saying is they don't they don't average rushing yards to the quarterback. But you also have to look at their schedule and who they played.
yeah.
So
Daniel
you
Jones
know,
didn't want to get out the pocket at all when they played them.
yeah.
They
So when you
played
look at
yeah, they played what, Jake Browning. Jake Browning's not gonna get out the pocket at all.
yeah,
And then I
yeah,
forgot who the other game they played. They play with. So they didn't play a lot of running quarterbacks actually at all. Oh, they
yeah.
played against the Tennessee Titans. And for some
Cam is
reason that boy Cam Ward was just hanging back there getting lit up. He was
yeah.
not taking off. Actually, I think Cam
So
Ward actually had about 40 yards rushing against them.
yeah,
So
because it's just one of them where they got to watch because this may be a game where Barkley gets going. You know,
yeah.
with them playing man, you know it's
But people teams so far this year has been really eyeing on Barkley this year, and they've been putting a lot on Jalen Hurts to actually do something with the ball this year for them to win. That
mm-hmm,
comeback win last week they had depend on him a lot, so he actually took off the game against Tampa Bay last week, um,
mm-hmm,
and put it on his legs as well.
yeah,
Against the Rams, he needed to use his legs in order for that comeback win against the Rams.
exactly,
So
exactly.
so I really like those rushing yards at plus 30. I know his line is at 38.5, guys. If you want to take it at plus 30, I think 30 is over 205. I think he can get that 38.5, but if you want to be safe, that 30 yards should be golden money.
Yeah,
And our third game we
yeah.
got going on is
The Texans at the Ravens,
this is an
and
interesting one. This is interesting.
yeah, um, I have to pull. I don't know if they got. I think they might have his line on here on the insights. What I like, but we're going with Xavier Hutchinson,
Hmm.
and we're actually going to take his receptions. It's at one over 1.5, and it's at plus money. The last five, he's covered that,
Hmm.
and he's going up against a Ravens team who is ranked 30th. You know, well, they're 21st in receptions allowed to the wide receiver position. Um, I think with this Texans defense and Cooper Rush starting, I could see the Texans getting a lot of possessions um, in this game,
Hmm.
especially if they can stop Derrick Henry in that run. Um, so this, two receptions at plus money, I think this is a given. It's one of those lines that you can't pass up. You know, he's covered five last 5 games, and even what I'm saying, the last four, he's covered it. So you
Hmm.
know,
I like this. I like this line a lot. I think that the Texans will have plenty opportunities to actually move the ball around on this game. Uh,
hmm
the Ravens actually have a lot of injuries outside of Lamar Jackson. I think they got Cheetah Bad Bouzier out. They got Marlon Humphrey out, and those are their top corners over there. So you're gonna be
hmm
and Kyle Hamilton. I'm sorry, he's questionable for this one. So they're gonna be depending a lot on Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins to actually get out there. And Nate Wiggins is a bigger, faster corner. So I think he's going to be a lot on Nico Collins. That leaves
hmm
Hutchinson open for the takings. And it's and because he can come across that middle without fear because of Raekwon Smith is actually going to be out on this one as well. So he can come across that middle without fear. And I think the targets are definitely going to be there for him.
hmm Yep. Now, what you got for your last pick?
And the last pick on that same line, because they got so many injuries um, and this guy is actually getting more carries than he's becoming their lead back, which is going to be Woody Marks at 50 yards rushing. Woody Marks has increased his carries and production each game they gave him the opportunity. So I think this week for Woody Marks, they're going to give him the most opportunity to actually get this this line and not only get this line, actually
Let's
supplant
see.
himself as being
Mhm.
the lead back and taking over for Chubb. Um, this came as a surprise to a lot of people outside of the organization as well because he was supposed to be the third back. Um, but with who was they leading back?
Nick Chubbs.
No, before him they went down
Oh, he's not
over the
there anymore.
summer. Now
Wait a
he
minute,
went
is
down
he?
over he went
He
down
went.
over the summer, and then
Who
they gave
was
it
it?
to Chubb and
What's his name? What's his name from Cincinnati? Wasn't it?
Cincinnati. Yep, yep.
I
Well,
can't think of his
anywho,
name.
anywho,
Yeah.
Woody Marshall's only supposed to be the third down back, but he's actually can play all three downs, and I really like this um, because his production has been increasing each week as they've been coming. Actually, you can see it right there. He started out with three, and he just kept consistently increasing, increasing, increasing. And that's not even
Mm-hmm.
considering the fact using him in the passing game. 'Cause I think last week in the passing game, he had almost 100 yards in the passing game itself, and with two touchdowns on him. Man, he's really turned out to be a well-rounded back out there.
Yeah, and as you can see right here, these are all the rushing yards against Baltimore, and there's a lot of green where these running backs covered their lines.
mm.
That's a lot of green there. Again, they're 27th overall, but and they're 28th to the um, rushing yards in defense, four
Yeah, and
yards allowed.
I'm looking at a couple of the lines that didn't hit. Actually, Dylan Sampson, he was a third. He's a rotational back. You got
Hmm.
the other two are actually just one game. That's just with the Buffalo Bills, and
Yeah.
Buffalo was airing it out. He had almost 400 yards passing on them at that one because they
Hmm.
had to do a comeback. They actually came back from it being down. But when they have the game in the hand, which I think the Texans can kind of control this game, as you can tell, any game they've been controlled was always been on the running game
Yeah.
against the Baltimore Ravens. Although their passing defense is not great, you can control the game with the running game with them.
Yeah, because you see here, I mean, two backs from each game covered. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco both covered.
Hmm.
Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery covered. Then you got Ford and Junkins both covered their lines against this Ravens defense.
And that's
Uh,
Pacheco's only time he covered his line all year
yeah.
against that
So
team too.
yeah, so the Ravens, man, they're in a world of trouble now with Lamar going out.
Hmm.
Losing to Buffalo early, and man, they're hurting
Yeah,
right now.
they got Owe, their linebacker. He's questionable for Sunday. They got the offensive lineman Emory Jones, a rookie. Ronnie Staley's out. They got man, this injury list is long too. I don't even
Yeah.
want to go down all of it.
And then they're going up against the Texans defense that's pretty solid.
And
So
Texans are man, they are in flailing mode right now. They
yeah,
are, when your back is against a wall, what you gonna do? They're gonna try to show out. And
yeah,
they tried to actually put the Titans away last week in the first half.
mm-hmm,
And I think that's
yeah,
how they're gonna play for a while because I know they're defending champion or defending divisional leaders, but they're not looking too good. They got a ground to catch up with the Colts and on the Jags as well, both being 3-1.
yeah. And I think they'll get there. I think they'll get there.
That's crazy. You
Um,
just said that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if they get their offense going, it's still plenty of football left.
I
I
don't think
think
they're
they'll
gonna
be
get
all
there. I
right.
can tell you that right now. I don't think
I
they're
think
gonna
they
be all right.
I think they will. All right. Well, with that being said, we let's do a quick recap of our picks. We
Oh yes.
got Keyshawn Junkins over with 75 and a half rushing
Hmm.
yards. We have
Dylan
who was the
Gabriel
other?
over 14
Dylan
and a half
Gabriel.
rushing yards.
Over 14 and a half. We got the Eagles money line.
Eagles money line. You got Jalen Hurts over 30 yards rushing.
And
You
then we
got
got
Woody Marks
yep. And we
50
got
yards rushing.
Xavier Hutchinson over 1.5 receptions.
Oh, that's 1.5. I have it two and a
Yeah,
half.
it's over. Yep, over 1.5 receptions. Yep, at plus money. Had to, I
Mm,
mean, yeah, had to take that one. Well,
yeah.
enjoy your weekend.
Yes,
Hopefully, we
sir.
can all fade the books, and we'll
Yes.
see
Make sure y'all check
y'all.
back with us on Monday real quick. We will be
Hmm.
going live on Monday at 6:30. Check back in with us so we can put these community picks together so we can all win some and think some. Right. Let's fade these
Yep.
books.
All right, we out of here. Peace. Well, I can go through and edit this out. I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, I don't even see the what's the name button, Brandon.